Yeah, honestly, it's hard to know where something like this starts because by the time I was in middle school, hip hop was pop music. What I mean by that was that hip hop, almost no matter where you grew up, especially in the United States, but really all over the world, hip hop was the dominant genre of the radio. So whether it was a traditionally hip hop station or it was a pop station, you were hearing a lot of that influence cross over. So when I was in middle school, if you heard doo 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 doo, you knew it was that 50 Cent song. You knew, go shawty, it's your birthday. It didn't matter if you were in North Carolina, Los Angeles, Baltimore, Johannesburg. When that hit, you knew what it was. The Eminem intro to Lose Yourself. Dun, 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 dun. It really was. It was pop music by the time I was in middle school. So when I was in middle school, that's what I was listening to most, was hip hop music. By the time I got to high school, though, I was writing poems almost every day, or every week at least. So I was writing to the girls I was dating, my now wife Casey. I hit her with a poem like, honestly, every week probably that we dated in high school. And I was a late bloomer when it came to academics. But when we were in high school, we had a literary magazine at our school. And I got chosen for that magazine every year that I was at the school, but it wasn't for creative writing, it wasn't for short stories, it wasn't for essays, it wasn't critical thought things. It was always poems every year, in and out, it was poetry. So by the time I got to college, I was blessed to go to school with some cats that were legit awesome poets that made words come to life and dance across paper. I mean, they were amazing. So they mentored me. They were older than me. So I got into the spoken word scene when I was in college. And then when we got married and moved to California, I had a guy on my staff look at me and said, have you ever tried to put this stuff on a beat? Now, I think that's when the insecurity starts to flood. I'm like, of course not. What do you mean if I put it on a beat? I'm not a rapper. And the truth was, I think I was just scared and insecure about being in a room and people listening and me trying to like really go in hard on a beat. And I was scared of that. But he taught me into it. And I will never forget, like all the days of my life, what it was like going into a booth for the first time, a professional booth with a huge screen, a soundboard that was bigger than my apartment and this acoustic padded wall. And you're in the booth in the other room and the beat hits. And you can feel it in your chest and you can hear it in your ears. And then when you finish recording, you and all your boys are out there and you're going through the lyrics and you're just vibing to it and bobbing to it. And it was from that day on, I was like, man, I've loved hip hop since I was a kid, but I want to do some hip hop. So over the last 4 years, I've written for other producers, written for other artists even, but haven't put out any of my own stuff. So with that was my attempt at a drum roll. But with that, on the 29th of this month, I'm gonna drop my first track. I'm gonna drop a single called Invisible, which is a fun, lighthearted, happy-go-lucky Halloween type track for the season. So again, it's been a lot of years. Where it really got started, I don't know. I just know that part of what raised me musically was hip hop, and I've been in it for years now, but it felt like the right time to put this out.